Hi, everybody. I'm Aphrodite Rose Starfire. Welcome to my Am I coming in okay? I'm not in the best service area. So, did you guys, can you see me? Okay. Did you guys tune in to Devin's live stream last night from Thailand? Did you see it? So Devin Madgy last night did a live stream from Thailand. Pretty much a year ago, we had made up and kind of settled our differences, and I was Skype calling with him as recently as a few months ago, and last night on his live stream he blocked me and said that I barely even know him, that I only spent he's like, I only spent a few days with you, you don't even know me, you think you know me, you don't know anything about me. He basically tried to paint me as like some kind of stalker. He said that I've made like hundreds of videos or countless of videos about him, and that he just knows that there's another video coming. He said that I had accused him of being a cult leader on the video where he was explaining that he wasn't a cult leader. We had actually already like talked about this and like came to like a resolution privately. So am I coming through clear? Okay. I have to kind of get my thoughts in order. I want to make sure I'm not breaking up or anything, but my feelings are really hurt. I really feel betrayed by Devin. He was really cruel to me, and after he said that, after he said that, I don't even know him, and that, I just spent a few days with him, and he went and blocked me, again, after he had unblocked me from his channel, like probably over 6 months ago. This live stream is, he's already taken it down as he usually does. I did not record it. My phone is full. I was so you're not unless somebody else recorded it, you're not gonna have any video proof of what he said. But it's like, I've really supported Devin this whole, like, for years, like, since 2017. I've supported Devin and kind of given him a pass on a lot of the new age propaganda that he pushes. When he did visit me in San Diego for a week, it was maybe like 5 whole days. Maybe it was like 6 days. It could have been 7 days. It definitely was like 5 full days, and then it might have been straddled by like 2 travel days where I dropped him off at the train station. But if you guys have been following me for any time, you know that Devin and I have a history, not a romantic history, but a friendship history, a brotherly sister history. I was there for him through the death of his father. I've been there for him through his various romantic relationships. He's like deliberately involved me in his various romantic relationships. And the fact that he wants to like paint me as some kind of like weirdo internet stalker or something is extremely hurtful and a big betrayal. He kind of goes through these cycles of embracing me as a like the last time I talked to him, he's like, Aphrodite, you're always right. Like, you know, I hate listening to your advice, but usually what you say is true. And like there was some apologies exchanged, and he tends to like seem to want to like bring me into his life and be a part of his life when he's more open to love and I mean with like his heart is open to love, but when it doesn't work out for him, it's like he deliberately pushes me away. It's like he pushes love away. He pushes me, Aphrodite, and a physicality away. And he's a big liar. Like, he's a big liar. What Devin shows and presents on his YouTube channel is not how he acts in real life and who he is in real life. Like literally, it was 1 or 2 months ago, he was live streaming from a beach house in Oregon with a woman, and they were talking about what they were going to make for breakfast for each other, and they're like, oh, sorry, we got to go run on the beach together. Like, Devin pursues romance. Devin pursues connections with women. And then when it doesn't work out, he just erases the evidence and pretends like he's always just wanted celibacy, that he's always just wanted to be like a MGTOW, that he's never wanted to be in a relationship. And it's like, you just were live streaming with a woman right next to you, all lovey-dovey. Like, and I'm the bad guy for calling it out, for saying like, why don't you just be honest and say like, hey, it didn't work out, or hey, like, this stuff is tough, like man-woman relationships. And maybe I don't understand it. Maybe, you know, not that like, but he wants to twist it and say, oh, I've just always wanted to be celibate. It's really hurtful that, you know, as Devin was banning me last night, he was able to read my last like comment, and it was like, but we did blood magic together. And he's like banning me. He's like, yeah, I know, I don't care. I don't care. And he doesn't care. I don't know. It's like Devin has two warring entities within him. He has like this really loving, kind of boyish, personality, or he was like hungry for connection. And then the other persona is like this stern, like high morality, like live by the rules, unapologetic, no compromises, cruelty to the max, unemotional, like wall. It's like, I don't know. It's like I don't know what Devin thinks he's doing. Like, trying to say that I don't know him. Like, do you really want me to tell everybody what I know about you, what we've talked about over the years? Like, Devin and we don't talk every day. We don't talk every month. There was a while that we talked multiple times a month, Skyped and phone calls and all that. But we go in and out of communicating. We probably talk at least every 6 months. So the fact that he's trying to like say that we don't even know each other, it seems, yeah, like I said, it seems like he only really wants to talk to me when he wants to talk about a woman with me. It's like, I have so many things to say about Devin, like, I don't know, like, how much. It's like a lot of what he said, what I know, like, it's like I know so much about him, and a lot of it he has said publicly, but he's deleted so much of his old content and like kind of covered up, buried his tracks, that I think most people don't remember the things he said about his past, or they forgot. He does a lot of double speak. Like, even last night he said, like, maybe I'm a liar. Maybe, and it's like, yeah, you are a liar. You are lying to yourself. You're lying to your audience. So let's first talk about Devin's new age propaganda pushing. And as you guys know, like, I have throughout the years made videos about Devin, and per his request, I've made those videos private. And now he wants to say that I don't even know him. Devin has never supported my YouTube. He's never, like, we did blood magic together. We were calling, oh, here, Devin. Yeah, I'm not going to block you, by the way. Please leave me alone. I know you do this. Do what? Tell the truth? Tell the truth? If you wanted to be celibate your whole life, why are you in all these relationships with women? I regret meeting anyone from the internet. Yeah, and he likes to go on that Sophia's Sanctuary was a big failure, and he had this big wish of a community, and he had open doors, and just, it was, nobody came, nobody respected it. And it's like, he had so many people visit Sophia's Sanctuary. He had many, many visitors. I'd say probably over 10, maybe 20, maybe more than that. And this was all during COVID, when people were locked up in their houses. And like, I only saw one person, that was Dimitri, the whole time. Yet Devin wants to complain that his sanctuary, you had more than 4 people visit, Devin. You had more than 4 people. Where there was like Subi Bird, Aurora. There was like at least a couple dudes. That guy you did the Road of Remembrance with, Adam, didn't he come visit? Subi never came. Yeah. Was there a lasagna spot in there? Not the last time I talked to Devin, but maybe the second to last time I talked to Devin. We had like a 6-hour, some odd long video Skype. See, you don't know yet. Do you want me to talk about what I know about you, Devin? Yeah. Well, you're so wishy-washy with your history. So after COVID happened, Devin was supposed to visit me in California. Or actually, he was supposed to visit me before I left for Australia. And then he didn't because he was afraid to go to California. And that had really hurt my feelings. But he never came to visit me. There was always an open door for me to come visit in his sanctuary. But not the last time I talked to him, but like the second to last time, I think. And it was like super long Skype video call. Devin divulged to me that he had kept up this super close friendship with Subi Bird after Subi Bird had kicked me out of her house. So right around the time I made friends with Devin Madgy on the internet, and he came to visit me in San Diego on his road to remembrance, there was this other chick, Subi Bird, who was like the #1 contributor on my channel. She commented like on every video. We called each other sisters. She invited me to come live with her in Eugene, Oregon. And I ended up moving from San Diego to live with her in Eugene, Oregon. And I have many videos of my time with her there. She abruptly kicked me out one day and kicked me out on the street. And I had to figure out what to do. I had to move back in with my dad for like a couple months and then find a job. And then that's when I moved to like the middle of nowhere, California, like south of Fresno. But Subi Bird totally betrayed me. She kicked me out after she had used me for the job that she had me do. She's a pathological liar. She told all of these weird stories and lies about her childhood, and we had bonded over this. It's really weird. I don't know if Subi Bird's a witch or something, but there was all these weird connections and coincidences. She had a close friend named Matthew who died, who had committed suicide, and that's the same name as my brother Matthew, who had died. Yeah, Subi Bird she betrayed you too, Devin. And why are you talking about on your live stream that you don't even know me? I want you to take that back right now, Devin, and apologize to me. You can apologize to me, and I won't talk about your real mother, and I won't talk about your brother. The real reason, well, I make videos about this, about you, Devin, is because you lie on your live streams and say you don't even know me. After you use me for like relationship advice and try to dump all your crap on me, you've shared so much of your intimate knowledge of your history with me. So Devin is a new age prop pusher. He's promoted veganism, fruitarianism, breatharianism. He recently divulged to me that he started eating raw eggs and started introducing other meats into his diet, but he won't talk about this publicly. He was having lots of health issues, including heart palpitations, heart issues, and he was really regretting being a vegan. Yeah, this is what you deserve, Devin. This is what you deserve. This is called natural law. And if you fuck with me, Devin, you're gonna get the fucking fire. You wanna fuck with love? You wanna fuck with Aphrodite? You wanna be a liar? This is what you get. This is what you get. You wanna fuck with me? This is what you get. So we're going to go there. We're going to go there. Bitter women. Yeah, okay, we're going to see. We're going to see. So Devin's not a vegan. He likes to push people into destroying their bodies. He destroyed his own body. He admitted regret to me that he pushed his ideology out there. He has started to introduce animal proteins. He told me he thought it was best that he starts with raw eggs. And I was like, I don't think that's a good idea, Devin. I think you maybe should start with maybe like cooked eggs, like maybe like some scrambled eggs or like some chicken broth. Like that's a good way, not like raw eggs, since you've only been eating like watermelon juice and vegetables for 5 years. But he won't tell that to his viewers. He, I guess, is back on to promoting that he's a fruitarian again, because that's why he just moved to Thailand, or he's in Thailand as a traveler now. He sold Sophia's sanctuary, got rid of everything, sold all of his possessions, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, he said he moved to Thailand to eat fruit, but he won't tell anybody that he had to go back on his veganism because he was having all these health issues. But yeah, so the second last time that I talked to him on like a 6-hour-long video chat call, he had told me that he had in fact kept up this very close relationship with Suvi Bird, like the whole time after she had kicked me out and like ended our friendship. And Suvi Bird was also intrinsically connected with the Brian Austin Lambert, Mia's New Pair of Glasses, Jay Dreamers drama. These are all connected, okay? Very strange. When I lived with Suvi Bird, she was on the phone with Devin almost every day. They were talking on the phone almost every day when I lived with Suvi Bird. Devin at the time was back and forth in Argentina with his, at the time, girlfriend, Lucilia, who he called Isis. This was the girlfriend who was with him when his father died in Detroit of long-term cancer. Lucilia was with him by his side. They later broke up after an ayahuasca trip in Peru that they did together. And Devin thought he caught Lucilia flirting with another guy on YouTube, so he used that to justify that she's a big cheater and that she cheated on him by flirting in comments with another guy on YouTube. And it's like she was there when his father was on his deathbed. But besides the point, and the last time Devin was in Thailand, he was with his other girlfriend, Karine. I don't know if you remember Karine, but they were in Thailand together. And, it's kind of weird that he has all of these romantic relationships, yet he's always wanted to be celibate his whole life. Why don't you just be honest? Why don't you just say hey, relationships are tough. I don't want to pursue relationships. Why do you have to try to twist it? You've always been celibate. You've never, the carnality, you literally 2 months ago were goo goo gaga eyed to what's her name? Tana? Is it Tana? The girl you rescued from a cult. You were goo goo gaga eyed and asking what she's going to make you for breakfast, and you're going to go walk on the beach. You never said you were celibate? I thought you just posted a video saying why you were celibate. I'm pretty sure you said you're celibate, and you gave a bunch of reasons why you're celibate and why you hate the disgusting carnality of bodies and disgusting hormones and disgusting secretions. I keep on getting sidetracked. Tana and I never had a sexual relationship. Okay, but you guys had a romantic relationship. You're going to tell me that you live stream. Why are you live streaming with a chick like that if you're not romantic? Yeah. It's not about that. You want to pretend like, you know, you don't pursue these things when you do. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. There is nothing wrong with pursuing the opposite sex or pursuing relationships or wanting to be loved or wanting to have a partner or wanting to have somebody to do fun things with. There's nothing wrong with it. And just like you chastise other people for pursuing that when you in the same breath are pursuing it. Yeah. So, I keep on getting sidetracked. So yeah. So the long video call I had with him, Devin revealed to me that he had kept up this very, very close relationship with Suvi Bird the whole time. And this was like, when they were, this plan to get land was a really old, long plan. Like, we were all gonna get buses, like Suvi Bird and I were gonna get buses. She ended up getting a Bluebird bus. I ended up getting a bread truck. We ended up doing what we all wanted to do. But Devin and Suvi Bird kept up this secret relationship. The whole time I was still chatting with Devin, and he never like divulged it to me that him and Suvi Bird were keeping this super close friendship. But apparently him and her, she would come visit him all the time when he was living with his mom in Portland. But they were gonna get a land together in Arkansas, Devin and Suvi Bird. So they did this like road trip together, just him and Suvi Bird, to Las Vegas, and they like got drunk together and like did shrooms. And he gave Suvi Bird $15,000, and they ended up getting in a big fight in Las Vegas, probably because Devin wouldn't sleep with Suvi Bird. And Suvi Bird decided to call one of her friends, and she got picked up in Phoenix, Arizona. And that was the last time they saw each other. So Devin says Suvi Bird stole $15,000 from him. Yeah, you said like you guys were drinking Jack Daniels or something. Or you had a Cosmo. You said you had a Cosmo. Didn't you say you had a Cosmopolitan? Yeah. Yeah, this is nasty. It is nasty, Devin. And what did you tell me? You said that you and Suvi Bird, I'm like, Devin, how could you have like hung out with Suvi Bird like that and trusted her after she did me so dirty? Like, Suvi Bird literally like stole money from me. She stole a month's rent from me. She never paid me back. She kicked me out on the streets because her boyfriend was agreeing with me in a disagreement, and she couldn't have that. But he told me, he's like, yeah, Aphrodite, Suvi Bird and I would talk about you a lot, and she said you're trans. She told me you're trans, and I'm like, Devin, you spent a week with me in San Diego. Like, you saw me in a bikini, like, you saw me like up close, like, you didn't see me naked, but you know, I'm a woman. Like, I think, you know, I maybe like, you know, I talk about menstruation, and he's like, and he said, yeah, Suvi Bird said that you always were trying not to be naked, that when you were living with her, that you would always like make sure you were covered up, and like if you're getting out of the shower, you're always dressed and like coming out of the bathroom. And I'm like, yeah, Devin, because her boyfriend lived with her, and I didn't want to give anybody any excuse to think that I'm trying to be seductive or like flirtatious. Like, I'm not, when I'm with a sister and her boyfriend, I'm not going to walk around naked. Like, I'm not going to show my body like that. Like, why would I do that? And then he's like, yeah, and actually when she brought you up, which was a lot, she would call you it. She would call you it or that. And when he said that, I literally burst into tears. I was like, so you're like talking shit about me as Suvi Bird all the time and calling me it? after this was like my sister and you're supposed to be my brother, like, and he's like, oh yeah, Aphrodite, I'm really sorry. And I'm like, how could you even have entertained that? He's like, I don't even know. But something about it, like, I just, like, it kind of made sense that you might be trans or something. And I'm like, I was just flabbergasted. You're being blasted because you just betrayed me, Devin. Like, you just, like, called, you just tried to act like I'm some stalker. You're like, you don't even know me. I know so much about you. But yeah, when I lived with Suvi Bird, she would talk almost daily on the phone with Devin. She hated his girlfriend at the time, Lucilia, in Argentina. She would call her a witch. She would say that she would think Lucilia was casting spells. She thought Lucilia was casting love spells on Devin. She had a super crush on Devin. She wanted to be with Devin. And the whole time I was like informing Devin about, like, I was like, hey, if you ever wanted a chance with Suvi Bird, like, she's right up, she is good to go. Like, she is down for the get down, because her boyfriend looked like a doppelganger of Devin. Her boyfriend Troy, who I lived with, also, like, it was from November or October of 2018, and then she kicked me out the end of January 2019, or the beginning of February 2019. But yeah, I would hear them talking on the phone. She talked to Devin more than me. She would be talking on the phone, and she'd get off the phone. She'd be like, I made Devin promise me that he will always take care of you, Aphrodite. I made him promise me that he will always take care of you. And there's been, I don't know how many times Devin has offered to, like, help me out or give me money or, like, come visit him in the sanctuary. When he was in Thailand the last time, he wanted me to come out to Thailand, and I was like, I can't. Like, I was working at the time. I was working and saving up to go to Australia, because I was going to move to Australia for good, and then COVID happened, so I couldn't. But yeah, he'd offered so many times to help me, and I never took him up on it. I never accepted any money from Devin. I think even when he stayed with me in San Diego, I wouldn't even literally let him pay for groceries. I wouldn't let him give me money for groceries. Like, we did blood magic together. We did a blood over decree together to wake up the 144,000 living souls. He took it down off of YouTube. It was a beautiful ceremony on a cliff in La Jolla overlooking the ocean. And he wants to tell people last night that I don't even know him. He doesn't even know me, that he only spent like 3 days with me. Like I'm some stalker. Devin has never supported my YouTube channel. He has never helped me grow my channel. I have always supported him. It's really weird. It's like, do you even understand how YouTube works? Like, we were like waking up the living souls is part of like connecting people and sharing each other's content. Like, whose content do you share, Devin? You don't share anybody's content. You don't like reach out and like you know, try to match ideas with other people. It's like your way or the highway, and most of the time you go back on what you say. You're not truthful with your viewers. You're not truthful with who you are. Like, if you were truthful, you would talk about your struggles with veganism and your struggles with your health, and that, you know, you made a mistake. You would be truthful about your relationships. You wouldn't take down your videos. People that do live streams and take them immediately down, do videos and take them down, they do it because they're ashamed. They're ashamed. They're ashamed and they're embarrassed. And Devin has a lot to be shameful about. Devin has a lot to be shameful about. So now that he's done promoting veganism and destroying your body, he's now moved on to promoting for people not to have sex and to not have babies. Last night, his whole live stream was about how people should not procreate anymore. And that carnality is disgusting, that if you have a baby, you're having a death, like you should, like it's like everybody that bears a child into this world is bearing a death into this world. So there's like some kind of like karmic debt by bringing in children. And it's like he had this whole written like essay statement that he was reading, because I guess he doesn't feel confident enough to talk about it off the top of his head, because he doesn't actually believe it. But yeah, he was talking about how babies are made in lust, how it's accidental, how these babies are made in accidents of bodies, like sweaty bodies rubbing together, and hormones, and you have to look at the and hormones. And it's like, Devin, you're not being truthful. You're not being truthful. You were not made in lust. You were not made by two bodies rubbing together in an accident. You were a deliberate baby made. You were made in a petri dish. And you want to tell people, then shut your laptop. You want to tell people that all babies are made by rubbing bodies by accident? Most babies are made these days via in vitro fertilization, and that's how you were made. That's how Devin was made. He was not made by lust. He was made by deliberate intention. His mommy and daddy really, really wanted babies. His mommy and daddy, which are both surgeons, very, very intellectual, professional surgeons. His mom's a breast cancer surgeon. His dad's now passed, but he was a very well-recognized surgeon. You want to tell people not to have sex, not all about babies, carnality, when you weren't even born that way. You even weren't made that way. How can you tell people? Maybe, have you thought of maybe you have issues with connecting with the opposite sex because you weren't made via sex? Have you thought about that? Have you thought about your obsession with Sophia? I know I've brought this up to you before. Sophia. Devin's obsession with Sophia Aurora, the mother goddess, Gaia, the mother. Why is Devin obsessed with the mother? Why is Devin obsessed with the mother? Devin is obsessed with the mother Sophia. He made a Sophia's sanctuary because he's running away from the truth about his own mother. He doesn't want to address. You go inward, Devin. Go inward. Go inward. Go inward. Devin's parents used an egg donor to create his triplets. He's one of a triplet. Devin had a brother and he has a sister. His brother died. Devin is a triplet. They used an egg donor Devin doesn't actually know who his real mother is. His egg donor mother, his biological genetic mother. That's why he's obsessed with Sophia. Because he doesn't know the true origins of his DNA. His true Mother Earth. And I said, like, Devin, I think you should investigate this. I think you should find out who the egg donor is. And I think that would really answer a lot of, questions that you have, or maybe mysteries, or, maybe some impasses that you're running up against in your life. Maybe it will be the thing that you're searching for. If you even just see a picture of what she looks like, or hear about what school she went to, or what her hobbies are. Devin, you told me you weren't interested in finding out. I think Devin is very responsible for the deterioration of people. Like, you should not be giving health advice to people. And if you do, you should be totally transparent about your own health history and your own struggles, and not act like you are some super being that doesn't have any problems. He wants to talk about hormones. Ooh, the nasty, disgusting hormones. Devin had to take hormones growing up. He had to take growth hormone. He had to take growth hormone because he had failure to thrive. But are you going to talk about that? Like, are you going to talk about how you've had to use science to survive, that you've had to utilize medicine? He's really jaded. He doesn't know his biological mother. And then his parents divorced, I think, when he was 3 years old. And I don't think his mom really had another significant relationship after that. She just kind of delved into her work. I mean, she's like a brilliant surgeon, runs like a breast cancer center, all that. But his dad went through a series of wives, and Devin has described them as like trophy wives. I think his dad was maybe married like 3 times after his mom. And the various wives had children, so he's had like stepbrothers and sisters, and now he has ex-brothers and ex-stepsisters. His triplet brother died of an overdose when he was 17 or 18. And that's something that Devin and I connected on to, because I lost a brother too that died. Devin had a brother that died. And I helped Devin through the death of his father. I was there for you, Devin. I was there for you when your dad was dying. And I comforted you. And you want to tell your viewers that you don't even know me, that I don't even know you? You want to talk about being hurtful? It's hurtful that you never supported me on my YouTube channel. It's hurtful that after COVID happened and I couldn't move to Australia anymore, you sit there and try to convince me that Josh was an NPC, that he never even existed. You're going to try to convince me that somebody I love so deeply was an NPC. And I was all alone, and I had been alone for so long, and you weren't even going to visit. You were supposed to visit me, and you're like, I don't want to come to California anymore. Last time I talked to Devin, we talked about his treatment of Natasha Daly and what he did to Natasha. I don't even know if Natasha's still around. He brutally ridiculed and traumatized Natasha Daly. For those of you in the community, Natasha Daly was an awesome teenager. She was like 18. She made videos about consciousness and about awakening. And Devin and I just talked about this, and he expressed so much regret about how he treated Natasha. Oh, you and Natasha just reconnected, actually. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's great. Well, I hope Natasha connects with me. I don't have my Skype active on my phone right now, so I don't know if you tried to reach out to me, Devin, recently, and you're upset that I ignored you. I know Tana was trying to talk to me all the time, and you wanted to talk to me about Tana. But now that didn't work out, you hate me and you hate love, and I'm like some stranger to you. So Natasha and I actually were really close. We used to talk, and this was when I was living with Susie Bird. Natasha and I would talk pretty daily. She is a black chick out of Texas. She rarely showed her face. A lot of times she would just kind of show a tree, she'd be in a park and just film the grass. She showed her face occasionally. But she was part of that original meditation that I had with Dana Provenzano, where she took us to this guided meditation of delivering. And Susie Bird was there. A lot of women were there in the spiritual community. It was like a Zoom call. And we did a guided meditation of birthing these two twin sheep, like lambs, with our hands. I was kind of disturbed by it. But anyways, Natasha was in the crowd. We were in the group, the spiritual group. Susie Bird, Lucilia, Isis in Argentina, Devin. Dante was in it for a while. Dante, there was Jamie, Natasha, Melissa, Awakening Leela. There was a lot of people included. Lilith was in there, in and out. But Natasha went to visit Devin when he was living in his parents' house, or his dad's mansion in Detroit after his dad died, and he was trying to sell the mansion in Detroit. Natasha went out there. He flies people out all the time to come visit him. Devin does, because Devin is wealthy. He got his dad's trust fund after his dad died, so Devin doesn't ever have to work, ever in his life. So he can tell everybody how to live, what to do, what to eat. Just go to Whole Foods every day and get yourself some kombucha watermelon juice. He flew Natasha out to come visit him. He picked her up from the airport and started ridiculing her immediately. She was very introverted. She was straight out of high school. She had never gone away from home. But Devin basically ridiculed her and screamed at her once she got there and said that she was acting awkward, and then he sent her home. He basically just brought a teenager to his house and verbally abused her, ridiculed her, he body shamed her. He made comments about her body, and then he sent her home. I know what you told me, Devin. I know what you told me, and that's what you told me. And that you felt extremely regretful about how you treated her. He wants to flirt. He flirts with women, and then when he gets them to him, he freaks out because he doesn't know what to do around a woman. And then the woman tries to pursue him because he doesn't know what to do. And then so he just ridicules them in person and pretends that he's like now the celibate monk and how dare you try to be carnal with him, blah, 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 blah. It's really fucked up. It's really fucked up. And I don't know why you're pushing all this new age agenda bullshit. Like, you're upset that your friends have babies and don't want to be your friend anymore? Like, so yeah, Devin was raised by nannies. He has a lot of butthurt about that. He has a lot of anger about the fact that his dad married these trophy wife women and didn't really, there was like no actual substance of a relationship. So he has this very jaded view on love. He thinks it's phony, he thinks it's fake, yet he's constantly pursuing it. And you can see that his soul yearns for it with the various relationships that he has pursued. But, yeah, he was raised by various, circulating door of nannies, and he had lots of different stepmoms. His mom's a surgeon, so she was busy, and his biological mom, he doesn't know. So I think that's a big recipe for wanting to connect with Mother Earth, while at the same time having a total aversion to the female form and having a real anger and frustration with relationships, with family life. But I think that's something you need to address with yourself and not try to push it onto other people, that they shouldn't have babies and they shouldn't have sex, that it's disgusting, that it's like a low act of being a human. My battery is running out. I don't know if I can make it back to my car before my battery runs out. So yeah, and it's like, I don't really like people that speak on sex and they haven't really like pursued it, like they haven't really had a lot of sexual experience. It's like, maybe just say you don't really want to know it. I just feel like Devin gives off this like persona, like he's had like this big sex life, like he's like tried it and it's not for him, and it's like, I don't really think that's the case. But yeah, Devin and I did blood magic together, called each other brother and sister. I guess that means shit to him. He's never supported me on YouTube. He's never promoted my channel, never helped me grow my channel. He hasn't used his platform for any type of connection amongst the community. But yet he wants to pretend like he tried to bring the community together with his Sophia Sanctuary. And that was a big lie, because he promoted that there was all of these restrictions to be able to come. You couldn't eat meat, you couldn't do drugs, you couldn't drink alcohol, you couldn't smoke cigarettes. And yet he allowed people to stay there who did those things. So, I'm live streaming. Let's see if I can save it. And Devin, I'm not going to block you either. You see that? You see how I can stand in my own voice without blocking you? Because I have not died. Power. See, I don't know why you think you could treat people that way. People that have loved you, that have been in your life, that you've shared intimate secrets with. But I don't stand for that bullshit. I'm not some fucking stalker. I'm not some YouTube fangirl. You know, for you to say that I don't even know you, it's really fucked up, Devin. You know, I used to consider you Hermes a long time ago, but you have not been Hermes for a really long time. God of communication is not the label for you. Maybe I would have leave you alone if you would have been a brother and actually been a good friend to me, like I've been to you. It's phony. You're a big fat phony. You want to like disavow love, disavow man and woman relationships. You say that you're a vegan, you're not a vegan. Yeah, we did a blood ritual together in La Jolla. A lot of magical stuff happened when Devin visited me for the few days that he visited me in San Diego, which I don't even know. I don't even know him. Yet we stayed in touch and constantly, like I don't know how many times that we talked to each other via live stream and like publicly exchange. And I think you used to say, I worship you, Aphrodite. Oh, you're my sister. Like last time we talked, you brought up the blood over decree, that you keep it with you, that you have it, that we really did some magic. I talked about how I wanted you to reestablish blood over intent, that I thought we could start a new movement again. And you thought that that was not a good idea. He's never wanted to like align with me since we did the blood magic together. Like it's like I don't know if like Devin is like has like these actual it's like I think he thinks it's coming from this innate drive, but it's like you're so programmed. You know, are you given a script, or it's just like the script's in you and you just like puppet it out? Because Devin was raised Jewish. Devin like went to the special Jewish school. Devin had a bar mitzvah or a bat mitzvah. I forget which one's for girls, which one's for boys. He had the big celebration. Okay, and then he went to like special music school for Hollywood. Like he went to some special school where they teach you how to write pop songs. And then after you graduate the school, you have like an immediate job at like Capitol Records or Columbia Records or something. This is what Devin told me. Okay, this is what I don't know. Like, I don't know anything about Devin. I don't even know him. Well, how do I know all this? How do I know all this? This is how he learned to... He went to special songwriting, Hollywood songwriting school. And this is what he said. When he graduated, he ended up Capitol Records or Columbia Records or whatever at this penthouse at a table with the contract. This is what he told me. He was out there with the table with the contract and to work at like Columbia or Capitol Records, and he said that if he had signed that contract, all of the music that he ever wrote would be ownership of the record company, that, you know, he couldn't ever do anything creative that would be ownership of his. So he said that he did not sign the contract, even though he had gone to the school and everything. So that's how he writes these catchy pop songs, blah, 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 blah. But he was able to get a huge YouTube channel, Flat Earth Paradise, and start things like the North Pole Project. So he was schooled in hand signals. He was schooled in gematria. Like, does he really talk about this stuff? No, not really. No, not really. But he's like pushing all of like the new age agenda, like know me, get rid of all of your possessions. He's kind of retracted on the whole blood magic thing, but no sex, no man-woman relationships. Even though he pursues them privately, like he'll denounce them publicly. Yeah, so Jim Bob is in the chat. Woo, Jim Bob. Am I glitching? I don't have as good service anymore. Yeah. So like, and every time he breaks up with the woman that he's with, the woman comes to me and tries to like divulge all this information about Devin to me. Lucilia tried to do it. Kaureen tried to do it. I tried to reach out to Natasha Daly, poor thing. I felt so bad for her. She totally disappeared after Devin like ridiculed her and sent her home. She probably thought like she should never ever reach out to anybody ever again. Like, he seriously traumatized her. Devin also says that he met Venus 14, that she came to his doorstep, I think in Portland. I don't think she came all the way to Detroit. She maybe did. But that he met Venus 14, that she like came to his doorstep, gave him like a crystal stone, and then that was it. Like, she left, and that he thought she totally looked like a man. That's what he told me. There's a lot more I could talk about Devin, about more personal things that he shared with me, but when he did visit me in San Diego, he was carrying around with him this gigantic pink quartz, I think it was quartz crystal. It looked like meat. It was like this big. It was like this thick around, solid crystal, and it was like solid pink. Like, it looked like a cut of salmon. But it was thicker than a fillet of salmon. It was like this giant, pure, it looked like flesh. This crystal looked like a jambon, it looked like meat. And he carried it around in a backpack, okay? Huge pink quartz crystal. It looked like it was like ruby red, like prosciutto. It looked like salmon. And when he stayed with me, I charged the crystal for him. I took the crystal and I gave it Aphrodite energy, and I charged it for him. And I slept with it. I slept with the crystal. And I think that was the night I had the dream with Devin Madgy in my dream, and we were at a whorehouse. And he was in my dream, and it was like these gothic banshee prostitute. They were like gothic, and they were, and they were pulling Devin into a room.
and then they were trying to do sexual things to me, and I was like, no, and then they kicked me out of the house, and they stole my keys to my car. And this was when Devin was sleeping on my living room floor, and I had the crystal with me. And when I woke up and I told Devin about it, he's like, this is the dream I always have. These are the succubi that come and like torture me in my dreams. Like, this is exactly like, we like had like a shared dream. Then we went to La Jolla, where we did the blood magic together to awaken the 144,000 living souls. I took his crystal and I blessed it in the Pacific Ocean for him. We were at La Jolla Shores Beach, rarest sand in the world. Right there in La Jolla is like the most rarest sand right there. That's not in any other beaches in San Diego. And I took his crystal and as the waves came, as the waves went out, I dug a hole in the wet sand and I put his giant meat slab pink crystal into the sand, buried it with wet sand, and let the waves wash over it. It was like almost a foot of water underneath the sand. And Devin was freaking out. He's standing there and he's like, oh shit, because I buried it in the sand and then the waves are like washing over it. And he's like, oh shit. I'm like, don't worry. This thing was like, I don't know, 20, 30, it was probably 40 pounds. I don't know, it was really heavy. I let the waves wash over a couple times, and then I dug back in the sand, it was still there because it was like heavy. And I gave it to him. We did all of this special, like, magic, like, and he wants to tell people that I don't even know him. We've shared like so much about our family, about, it's messed up, Devin. It's really messed up. So he said, I'm very reclusive now. It's just easier to be like, dude, you were just live streaming with Tana in a beach house in Portland, being all lovey-dovey. Like, why do you deny that? Like, why do you, pretend like that never happened? Like that you've always been this reclusive monk that never, like, you literally were goo-goo gaga-eyed. And I was texting you and Tana, like, I'm so happy for you guys. I wish you the best. Like this is so awesome. Like, yay, I'm glad you guys are, like, together, la la. There wasn't any, like, oh, it's just platonic. Oh, you're getting the wrong idea, Aphrodite. There was no, like, clarification like that. Tana actually said, thank you, Aphrodite. Thank you. We're so happy. La la la. We're at the beach house. So don't tell me, like, oh, I've always wanted to be alone. Oh, my sanctuary was a failure. Like, for somebody who's not a cult leader and doesn't know, like, so gets his feathers in a ruffle about being accused of being a cult leader, you sure pursue people in cults a lot, and you know a lot about cults. Like, Devin knows all about the gurus and all about the cults. Last night before he blocked me, he's like, oh yes, and I'm headed to a hippie commune, a hippie town in India. And then, like, in a couple breaths, he's like, and I'm done pursuing spiritual communities. I'm done going to spiritual communities. And I typed, and yet you're going to a spiritual community. And he's like, Aphrodite, I am not going to a spiritual community. It's like, dude, you just said you're going to a hippie community in India. Like, you just said that's where you're going. And I was like, I would not be surprised in 2 weeks he has some big-titted, goo-goo-eyed chick sitting right next to him live streaming. After he's talking about the disgusting carnality of bodies and human disgusting secretions, and I've never been one with carnality. Ah, mucus, disgusting. My purpose isn't to be relatable. It never was. My channels are basically a narration for the end times. Yeah. Like, honestly, Devin, if you want to get out of here so much, why don't you get out of here? Like, if you don't want to be in a body, like, why are you here? Like, we're in bodies. Like, this is our reflection of our consciousness. Like, this is the manifestation of our consciousness. This is God manifest, okay? Use it. Use it or lose it. Use it or lose it. And we all know he wants to use it. You sure were happy as a clam in the beach house. I never seen you get so happy. You got a grin. Ooh, he's like, oh, what are we gonna have for breakfast? Ooh, like there's nothing wrong with that. But he wants to go back to like toxic masculinity, all rules and order. This is how it is. And it's like, you don't even live that way. You don't even live that way, bro. All right, let's look at your comments. Hi, Drew. It doesn't upset me that Devin is celibate and an herbivore. It upsets me that Devin is dishonest with his audience. It upsets me that he's a liar, that he promotes a lifestyle that he doesn't live himself, and that he's not honest to his viewers about the rigidity. He's so rigid on YouTube, and that's not how life is, and that's not how he is. Like, just like with the Sophia Sanctuary, he was so rigid on the qualifications you needed to have as a person to even be accepted into his sanctuary. Yet, he had to go back on his rules to even get anybody to come. I'm so appalled that now my family history is public with this video. Well, maybe you should have thought of that before saying that I don't know you. I'm just proving that I know some things about you, Devin. Maybe you should have thought of that before banning me and trying to make it look like I'm some weirdo that doesn't know you. Yo, everything that I said is true. I'm not a liar. I don't misrepresent myself. I don't live off of a trust fund. I don't tell people how to live their life and then live my life a totally different way. Okay? I feel really sorry for the 17-year-old that you're mentoring. You are not a good representation of how to live a life. Like, you should let that 17-year-old go and go talk to somebody else, because you're signing that 17-year-old for a life of misery. I don't know what joy, like, you seemed joyful when you were with Tana at the beach house. It's funny, like, when you're in relationships at the beach, you want to involve Aphrodite in your life, but then when that doesn't work out, like, I'm dead to you and I don't know you. Do you see, like, the symbology, like, do you see, like, how that goes together? It's really disrespectful. It's very disrespectful. Devin's very cruel. You're not respectful of people's emotions. You want to call people brother and sister and then say I don't even know you. Thanks, Rainbow Warrior. Hi, Kat. I don't know how you and Tana are fine. You don't really talk very nicely about her. Maybe, Devin, you'd have a better time if you didn't delete your videos that you post and the live streams that you say. Like, it shows that you are ashamed and that you don't walk the walk. You don't walk the talk. It's like the drunk people that live stream and then delete their live stream the next day. All right. I'm not going to see these comments for another 24 hours, so I'm just briefly going over. Yeah, so I know Devin deleted the live stream that he did last night, but his live stream was titled like why you shouldn't procreate, or like saying procreation is like introducing death into the world, and I was calling him out on some stuff, and he banned me. But before he banned me, he said that Aphrodite, I don't even know you. I visited you for like 2 days, 3 days, and you think you know me. You don't even know me. You've made countless of videos about me, and I'm sure you're gonna make a video about this too. So I'm just gonna wait for the video you call me a cult leader. And then I'm like, but we did blood magic together. And he's like, yeah, I know, I don't care. And then he banned me. So that's Devin for you. Yeah. So maybe I'll repost all of the old videos I took down for you. Remember when you asked me to take down those videos last year when I was talking to you? You know, since I don't know you and we were video chatting and you asked me to take down the videos, I did. Maybe I'll repost them. Since I don't know you. You're acting like I should have no backbone and accept people calling me names online. What are you talking? I'm going to call out people that are liars and that go back on what they say. You've said a lot of crap, Devin. You say a lot of shit. You say a lot of shit, and then you like contradict yourself in the same breath. So yeah, I'm gonna call it out. And last time we talked, you said that I'm like right most of the time. You said like, yeah, most of the time the things that you say, Aphrodite, are right, and I don't want to listen to it because it's true. Yeah, you would never make a video about me whatsoever. No, you made fun of me on your live stream last night. You made fun of me on your live stream last night. So yeah, you like I've promoted you countless times and you've never promoted me. Where's the reciprocity in that? You're just a user. And you don't know how to treat people that actually have love in their heart. You like see it as some like disgusting carnality. You know, if you want to push people away, if you want to go live some life in the Himalayas or whatever, go, please. But that doesn't give you the right to like lie and do blood magic with people and then say that you don't know them or like. Are you exempling such love and care here? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What am I supposed to do? Like, follow you? Like pine after you? Like, are you exempling such love and care here? I don't think it's right for you to, behind the scenes, not be a vegan and say that you're a vegan. People are getting sick. You got sick, and you're not honest with your viewers about it. I think that's wrong. You think it's love to talk about my family's broken past like you did earlier? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do, because you're not being honest. You want to tell people not to have babies, not to have sex, when you yourself don't even understand it. You're not even a product of it. You want to preach to people that most babies are made by accident, that most babies are made by two sweaty bodies rubbing together, when you, in fact, were not made that way. I would say most babies these days are made by pure intention in a petri dish, just like you. What's the difference between a baby made with pure intention, with two parents that desperately want a baby, versus two bodies rubbing together and an accident happens? What's the difference, Devin? Is there a difference? Is there a difference between the sweaty carnality and people really, really wanting a baby so bad that they're going to do it in a petri dish? Is one a living soul and one not? See, as you can see, Devin is just like floundering. Like he doesn't have any stance. He just grasps at whatever, like, he hopes sticks. Because he's talking out of his ass. He doesn't know. He doesn't know, but he acts like he knows. You don't know what a loving relationship looks like. You never had loving relationships demonstrated to you. Don't try to talk like you know about it, like you've tried it and it's not for you. Like, maybe you should investigate why you don't know about it. Like, part of being in incarnation is the bittersweet, and you used to talk about that, like growth. We have to learn the spectrum of pain and pleasure. Like, we're in the meat suits to learn the spectrum. You have to learn some pain to know if it's a pleasurable experience. Like, what you thought was painful before maybe is not painful anymore, because now you've experienced real pain, and what you thought was painful before is not really as painful as you thought, because now you've experienced worse pain. But you have to have, like, a variation of experience to be able to make judgments about what is what. I think this all boils down to what he said in his live stream. I didn't get a chance to watch it, so I don't know what was said. Oh, well. Yeah, he deleted it, so, yeah. So, unlike you, I'm letting you express yourself, Devin. I'm not blocking you like you blocked me. Why are you so afraid? Like, why are you so afraid of what I have to say? If you don't know me, how do I know all this stuff about you? How do I know all this stuff about you? Why did you call me your sister if you don't even know me? But, like, right now he wants to say he's a loner, nobody by himself, he doesn't want community. Yeah, he's going to a hippie commune. So don't be surprised if when he's at the hippie commune, he has a bunch of people around him, smiley faces, he's in his element, having a good time around people. And he'll be singing a different song then. But I have the reason why I did Blood Over Intent was through Devin Madgy. I never knew of Quasi-Luminous before I did Blood Over Intent. I knew all of it through Devin Madgy, and I recognized Devin Madgy. I recognized Devin Madgy as I had recognized Gary Warmerdam and Og Tellez and Soul Mason, who's not around. His name's Patrick. He was in San Diego. But I have memories of us being in the underground bases. I have this memory of us kind of like walking from different hallways in the white hall. It's all white hallways, and we're all wearing white, like a white sweatshirt and like white sweatpants, and we're like coming to this common area, and we kind of stand in a circle and kind of just like are talking, or like we just stand in a circle. I just have this kind of memory of standing in a circle with like Og Tellez, Devin, Gary Warmerdam, and kind of Soul Mason. And I've always expressed this like from the very beginning. But it's like people like only want to be so associated with me, you know, like people want to like label me as like some drug addict, or, you know, like even after Devin visited me, he like deleted all of the videos that he had of me. It's like I'm this like secret, you know, like I'm like, you know, oh, we can't be associated with her, you know, and the fact that Devin last yesterday tried to like act like he didn't even know me, like I'm some crazy person, was really, really hurtful. And it's like, I don't even know how truthful it is. Like when he told me that him and Subi Bird would talk about how I'm trans and that I'm an it, and they would talk about me as it. They would refer to me, they wouldn't say she, they would call me it. It's like, how deep do these spells go? Like, I know when I stayed at Subi Bird, like her room was really, the room that she put me in was really weird, and it had like, she had these crystals like hanging over the bed, and like this really creepy picture of a forest, like a haunted forest. It was like, and she was like on the phone with Devin like every day, and she would tell me, she's like, I was talking to Devin, and I made him promise me, Aphrodite, I made him promise me that he'll always take care of you, that he'll always take care of you. And I'm like, okay, like I didn't even know why she would be asking Devin to take care of me, or like I was like some like orphan or something. Yeah. Yeah, and Devin went hard on me. He went hard on me trying to convince me that Josh was an NPC. And the second to last time I talked to Devin, I brought that up, how much that hurt me, that he was like trying to convince me that Josh was an NPC. But it's like Devin doesn't get what he wants out of. I think he craves personal relationships, and then when he gets a person in his like field, it's really scary, and maybe you don't know what to do, and it freaks you out, and he goes to like his setback of rules and the sternness, and you know, I need to be spiritual, not carnal, and like it's like more comfortable in the awkwardness. Devin's in the chat.
Hi, Devin.
That's another blood over antenna too. He's like, oh, I'm so, you know, I'm never gonna meet anybody off the internet again.
I'm a big turd in the underworld. Gotta go.
And it's like, I've met all these people that did blood over intent, and they've enriched my life. Like even Subi Bird and Devin and Dimitri and Josh and Lane, Big Nicks. That was the other thing when I lived with Subi Bird, Big Nicks. visited me in Oregon, Lane. And the weekend he came and visited me in Oregon, that was the weekend Suvi Bird took me up to a different property to help her burn her cannabis crop. And she took me to show where she found her friend Matthew, who had committed suicide. And she walked me through the whole thing of when she found her friend's body hanging from a tree. She showed me the tree, she like acted it out. And this is while Lane was waiting for me at like a Walmart, because Suvi Bird didn't want Big Nick's to come see this other property where she kept her cannabis crop. So he had come and flown out to visit me, and he was waiting in a Walmart parking lot until I was done with Suvi Bird at some other property. And that whole time, she's taking me through reenacting the suicide of her friend Matthew, who's the same name as my brother that died. And then after this, Lane ends up committing suicide. Big Nick's ends up committing suicide. Don't you think that's weird? That, like, the one time I met Lane Nixon, Big Nick's, from Blood Over Intent, the one time he came to visit me, he later commits suicide, and that was the weekend Suvi Bird acts out the suicide of her friend Matthew, who has the same name as my brother Matthew, who died. Like, and then we had like a like at this property, we had a bonfire and burned the old cannabis bushes. So it was like this ritual thing. And later, so before Big Nick's committed suicide, I honestly don't even know how Big Nick's committed suicide. He got together with Danny Skylark, another Blood Over Intenter. Okay. He got together with her, and they were boyfriend, girlfriend. She got pregnant with his baby. Okay. She ends up having some bleeding late in the pregnancy. They go to the emergency room, and the doctor tells her she's losing the baby. Big Nick's thinks that they're losing the baby, that the doctors told her the pregnancy is lost. Lane then leaves the hospital and commits suicide. Danny Skylark ends up saving the pregnancy. She ends up having the baby after Lane kills himself. How I found this out was Danny Skylark posted a video of her giving birth in a bathtub. And I was like, this is so beautiful. And I didn't even know that her and Big Nick's had gotten together. And so she tells me, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so weird. It's so weird. And she told me, she wrote in like a comment how he committed suicide, and I couldn't even bring myself to read it. I couldn't even read it. I was so shook up. Like, so his baby was born like right after he killed himself, because he thought his own baby had died, and so he killed himself, but his baby didn't die. And this was the man that visited me in Oregon when Suvi Bird was going through an interaction of a man who committed suicide. It's like so weird. And Devin wants to say he doesn't even know me. It's like, you don't even know like the effect you have on people and like the repercussions. And I hope you get it all, Devin. I hope you get all the repercussions that are coming to you. I really do. When I was at a restaurant with Lane, when he visited me in Oregon, he was shouting at the bar about flat Earth. He was getting into it with random strangers, trying to explain to them flat Earth. And he's like, what do you think of a fucking monkey spinning on a ball? Like, he was so vocal about flat Earth, about Blood Over Intent. he had the sword of destiny, the spirit. He had the sword that he was crafting, that he like would bleed on, and he was crafting it. Like I don't even know what happened to all of his. Like I know Danny, she had a hard time getting his stuff, and he was in the Navy, and like they wouldn't even qualify her for benefits because they like weren't married or something, and now she has his baby. But these are all people that are connected through blood over intent, through Flat Earth Paradise and stuff, and it's like, you just want to like denounce everything. You just want to like shit and move on, shit and move on, shit and move on. Like don't even care about the wreckage you leave behind. Like after all of that with Susie Bird, how she treated me and kicked me out, like Devin continued a close friendship with her and gave her money and talked shit about me and called me an it. And the whole time Devin was still friends with me, having Skype conversations with me. And he's talking to Susie Bird, calling me an it. And you wanna try to like bash me for like airing your dirty. Well, first of all, this is all stuff you talked about on videos before that you've now deleted. I know you like to cover your tracks. You like to say stuff and then like pretend you didn't say it. Oh, I'm Hermes. I can flip around. I'm a jokester. Don't believe me. Take what you want and leave the rest. La 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 la. I choose not to be friends with you. Okay. Okay. With friends like these. But much of this isn't true. Yeah, all right. Okay, Devin. What is not true? What is not true, Devin? What is not true? Remember, everyone, she knows better. What is not true, Devin? And I also think it's interesting that both Devin and Gary Warmerdam had interactions with the Green Goddess right before they visited me. They both had interactions with this digital Green Goddess. Separate, it's not like they were friends and talking about it with each other. I'm being a bully? Oh, okay, no I'm not. What am I lying about, Devin? And I'm not blocking you because I can stand in my own voice. I'm lying about your opinions. I'm lying about your beliefs. Okay. Earlier you made fun of Sophia, who's my deity of worship. I don't think you really worship Sophia. You pretend like you worship Sophia. You used to say you worship me. Yeah, the talk is cheap. Sophia. I said you're obsessed with the mother because you don't know who your real biological mother is. Because you're an IVF baby from an egg donor, and you want to tell people not to have babies. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck, Devin? You want to tell people how to procreate when you were so deliberately made? It's not bullying. I'm not bullying you. I forgot you being a total train crash right now. Okay, thanks for the coded word draw. Luxar, are you the 17-year-old he's mentoring? Yeah. Well, you know the whole story of Sophia, Devin. Maybe you're the demiurge. I've been meaning on my main channel to make a video of I'm going to be a representation of Sophia apologizing to Yaldabaoth, because like you, Yaldabaoth was made without the natural way of a man and woman essence. being brought together. It was made with science. So, yeah. I don't know if you've ever thought about that. Well, how did you tell me all these things, Devin, if I don't know you? How do I know all these things if I don't even know you? Why? How are you able to tell all these things to me if we don't know each other? How is that possible? Yeah. You don't fuck with me. If you want to like try to act like I'm crazy, like you don't know me, you're gonna get burned, Devin. I don't know how you think that you can treat me like that. Like, cause I'm not gonna stand for it. I'm not gonna pretend like, I'm some fangirl. Cause everybody always brings you up when I talk to other people. They always want to talk about you. When like, oh, you and Devin were together. And I'm like, no, we weren't together. Like, it's brother, sisterly, la la la. Which will really affect my family if they see this. How would your family see this? Because they love, what family? I thought you were all alone. I thought you were a loner. Like, you have nobody. Now you have this family that you're concerned about seeing things about you. Maybe you should have been concerned about them seeing your live stream last night when you were talking about how people shouldn't have babies and that they should be ashamed of themselves for bringing another death into this world. Maybe you should have thought about that. I don't appreciate like people who actually seek out love and then pretend like they denounce love. Like, you're a charlatan, you're fake. You are saying one thing and doing another. I'm done with spiritual communities. Yeah, I'm going to this hippie commune in a couple weeks in India. They aren't horrified by my opinions. They would be horrified knowing my family's dirty laundry is now public. You've already made it public, Devin. You've already made it public. You used to talk about your family all the time. Yeah, I know you want to live some double life, like some secret agent about your history and stuff, but yeah, Devin was trained at like Hebrew school, and then he went to professional pop music school to teach you how to deliver the subliminal messaging. He learned how to do it. But he didn't sign the contract. He said he did not sign the contract. So, I don't know. Devin, did you see the video that Chalk Body Outline made of you about me talking about you manifesting the demon? Did you see that video about George when you were living with Shaishaya? I didn't bring up Shaishaya's name in that video, but we can talk about her now. Detroit Institute of Music Education. Dime. It's a dime. No, but you went to like Hebrew school for your bar mitzvah. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. It's a Capitol Records owned pop music college. Wow, how did I know this, Devin? How did I know this history about you for somebody that you just visited for like 3 days maybe and like you've never talked to again? How do I know this information about you? Maybe you lied. Maybe you lied about me. Maybe you lied about me to your viewers last night. I don't think people really know that you get your information from this background though, Devin. Devin also flew around with his dad to all kinds of different countries for these really experimental cancer treatments because his dad was terminally ill with cancer for like years. Like he was like terminally, like he was gonna die for cancer, but for a really long time because he had the resources as a surgeon knowing about latest treatments and stuff. So he would fly around with his dad all across the world to get different cutting edge cancer treatments. And that's why Devin was able to buy Sophia's sanctuary and stuff, because when his dad died, he got access to the trust fund. And now he sold Sophia's sanctuary and he's going to travel Thailand and the Himalayas and everything. But he wants to tell you, like, nobody came to Sophia's sanctuary. It was all alone, like, where people are actually, like, all alone during COVID, like, locked up. People don't need to know because my personal life is you've already made this public, Devin. Like, why are you trying to act like it's like some secret? Yeah, I'm bringing up your father's death because I was there for you during your father's death. I was there for you. And you want to tell people that I don't know you? Like, I was like video chatting with you. Like, his dad was like this big head of the community, so the big head of the Jewish community too, and surgical community. So after his dad died, Devin had to like receive all these people coming and paying respects at the house and bringing gifts and like food and stuff. And I remember I was like Skyping with him, like people are coming in the house, like, oh yeah, we're so sorry about your dad, la la la. But you want to like judge, he like wants to judge people. He wants to judge everybody for being disgusting and working jobs and having sex and having relationships and eating meat and drinking water, like disgusting. But you know, he has the funds to go to Thailand. He has the funds to go to Whole Foods every day to buy his $10 juice. Like, I don't know if there's really that like self-awareness with him. Like why are you preaching to people like you know? Why are you preaching to people like you know relationships? Why are you preaching to people like you know how to eat? Why are you preaching to people like you know how to be healthy? You don't know how to be healthy. You've never been a healthy child, okay? You're not a healthy adult, okay? You don't have healthy relationships, okay? You didn't have a healthy family life. Why are you trying to judge people and tell people how to live? And telling people they're disgusting for being a human? Telling them it's disgusting to eat meat or to drink milk? Who are you? You don't even know. You are a pampered little boy, okay? Has never had to work a day in his life. And every time you get somebody close to you, you freak out and you have a little whiny bitch fest. And want to pretend like, oh, I never wanted anybody anyways. I always wanted to be alone. I'm celibate. I've never wanted anything of carnality. Ew. Disgusting. No, that wasn't me. That wasn't me pursuing that. Because I've never wanted that. No. Thank you. You're mean, Devin. You're mean. You're mean and you're cruel. You're mean and you're cruel. You want to disavow love. You want to disavow a man and a woman loving each other. When you, in fact, are searching that out for yourself, you're a charlatan. Like, stop trying to tell people how to live when you can't even fucking figure it out yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself, and you need to apologize to me. It's not okay. It's not okay to treat people this way. You fucked up, Natasha, okay? You need to apologize to your viewers about your veganism. And stop trying to pick new topics and telling people how they need to live their lives. Because you haven't even figured it out yourself. You haven't figured it out yourself, okay? You don't know. I mean, I think I might have been the only person Devin's had like a good time with. Like, it seems like the people that visit him, like, they don't really have a really good relationship afterwards. Like him and Aurora, I don't know, like. I mean, obviously Devin saw something in me after his brief visit to me in San Diego for a week, that he continued a relationship, talking to me, involving me in his life, telling me his secrets about his relationships, involving his girlfriends in with my life. Like, obviously he found some value in that. Well, if you're speaking to all these people and have all these friends, Devin, why are you talking like how you want to be alone? No, oh. It's like you project this one persona and you're not that way. Yeah, you want to act like you don't even know me. So yeah, I don't know, like, how many, like, I don't know what drives Devin to, like, post these videos, like, telling people how to live. Because it's, like, straight from, like, the New Age propaganda textbook. Dissolution of family, no sex, no relationships, only live in your head, no body, like a dissociation, simulation, disconnection.